talk about and discuss today. But before we get to that, I don't want us to miss this opportunity to be in humanity, to be with one another. So let's take a moment, get up, look in each other's eyes, say hi, give somebody a hug. Let's do Everybody made it back? Yeah. Tia. Can you hear me? No, it's not. Nope. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, it's on. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. I think there you are. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. All right. No? Some say yes, some say no. Yes. All right. My mic's not on, but you can still hear me, all right? All right. And let's get to it. Let's turn this back on so that it can get recorded. Sorry about that. I have some technical difficulties here, but we work it out. All right. So. First things is I'm back and I got tired. So I want to thank you for your love, your support, your prayers. I took all of you with me into the paneling room and we just talked about it. And we did it. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. The next thing I want to talk about is this, is that there is a whole lot going on. Patrick, can we turn the fans on? There's a whole lot happening and going on in the world. And we don't want to just gloss over it as if nothing is happening in the world. And so for us then it's to be in principle about it, to stand in principle. And so I don't need to tell you all what has been happening these last couple of weeks. You all have been looking at the television just as I have. But what we can do is this, as we stay in principle, to know the truth and to know that, that not to get caught up in what appears to be. Because if you think that the words that are being spoken are not the seeds that are being sown, then you have gone off of principle. So get back to principle. Every voice, every word that people are coming forth and speaking, we are to stand and to know the truth about it. And so what we can do then is here, be in support of each other. And I don't know how what's happening out in the world is affecting any of us, and I don't claim to know that, men and women. But what I'd like to do is to take a moment for us to stand and support each other. So if you would please stand and repeat after me. Turn to somebody and look them in their eyes, heart to heart. And join me in saying, I see you.
I see you.
I hear you.
I hear you.
And your voice,
matters.
I see you.
I see you.
I hear you.
I hear you.
And your voice, matters. Thank you. So, not only while I was in Dallas, because that's where I was for the paneling, did the panels occur, but I also got an opportunity to spend time with my colleagues, other ministers. There's probably about 150, 160 of us there, where we came together to love each other and to support each other, because ministers need love too. And so it was a good time, but I was reminded of a lot of different things. But what I bring back to you is that I was reminded again that we are a part of something that's so wonderful and magnificent. And to remind us that we matter and that we are significant here, right where we are. And that every opportunity that we have to be who we are and to even stretch and to grow more so now than ever, here at the Center of Peace and Centers for Spiritual Living as a body, that the time is upon us. And so I was just reminded of that, and one of the things that we did real quick was we put a puzzle together. It was a huge puzzle that said Field of Love. And each person got a piece of the puzzle, and we wrote something on the back of the puzzle. And the puzzle was never completed because the idea was that it would never be complete. That we as a body would continue to fill in the pieces along the way, to fill in the pieces of love and to fill in the pieces of light and to fill in the pieces of joy and to fill in the piece of respecting humanity and on and on and on and on and on. And so I have our piece. And it'll be sitting on my altar in my office. But don't forget that we make a difference right here where we are. And that the universe is calling us to grow and expand and to push us, even in places we've never been. And so, the other thing that I learned there is that there's a lot of good things that we are doing as an organization. As the Center of Peace, there's a lot of good things that we are doing, and there's a lot of more things that we can do to get better. A lot of more things that we can do to get better. So, just wanted to share a little bit of that with you. So let's go ahead then and get into our theme and our talk for today. Trust. All our needs are met. That's our theme for October. And so let me just go ahead and get it right off of my chest into your lap. Yes, we are going to be talking about money. We are going to be talking about money, but more than money, we're going to be talking about principles. The ideas that we talk about, because money is an idea of God in action. And so we have to talk about it. And I want to start with the principles that we are going to be working with. And if you have one of these in front of you, please pull it out. Today I want you to read along with me. I want you to see these words and to begin to embody and embrace these words, perhaps in a new way or in a different way. And so today we're working with number 8. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. And number 6, we believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. Now, under number 8, if you follow across to the third column where it says universal law, I want you to still take a look at it with me. Under this section, and the team that put this together did a wonderful job, and I hope you have it at home and that you're working with it. So, under universal law, it says, a belief is not an idea that my mind possesses. It is an idea that possesses my mind. Read that with me out loud. A belief is not an idea that my mind possesses. It is an idea that possesses my mind. That's the principle around money that we're going to be talking about today. Not an idea that my mind possesses, but an idea that possesses my mind. Oh, where's my little notepad? And so I was reading from Neville, if any of you are familiar with his writings, from the book Awakened Imagination, and he says this. He says, hold fast to your ideal. Hold fast to your idea. Nothing can take it from you but your imagination. Don't think of your ideal. Don't think of your idea. Think from it. It is only the ideals or ideas from which you think that are ever realized. Hold fast to your idea. The idea that possesses your mind. And so this month, in talking about money, I want to bring it into our awareness that it's an opportunity for us to look at our little ideas and our fears. It gives us an opportunity to look at our little ideas and our fears, to bring the light on money in our life. Because I know that for some of us, the talking about money makes us a little uncomfortable. Or if I say the word tithe and tithing, you know, for some of us it's kind of jabbing us or stabbing us in our side. It makes us uncomfortable, and yet it is the thing that we think about the most, the thing that some of us fear the most, and the thing that some of us worry about the most. And so, and it is the thing that we talk about the least. And we definitely don't want to talk about it here at the center. We don't want to talk about it at church. We definitely don't want to do that. Because money makes us feel some kind of way. If I say the word tithe, as I said earlier, same thing. It makes us feel some kind of way. Because we start to associate the words with our past. I'm talking about money, but the invitation is for you to think of these words, think of this idea with anything that's happening in your life. So we take the word and we start to associate our past experiences with the word. And for us, we know that words are ideas. And we know that ideas become thoughts, and thoughts become things. And so instead of progressing in this area then around money, we regress. In other words, we don't have new ideas about money. We have our old ideas about money. And in the principles, either we are progressing, moving forward, or we are not. So we're talking about money, but the truth is that in any area of your life, if you are not moving forward, if there's no progression, you are regressing. You are stuck, not moving. And so either around money, what happens then is that we either hold on to our money, stopping the flow, or our old ideas about what money used to be continues to manifest over and over and over and over and over in our life. And so we never have any money. Because as long as we have limiting ideas, we have limited ideas. As long as we have limited ideas, we have limited ideas. But in our life, ours is to address this, as I said earlier, to begin to address this in every area of our life. You see, it's an opportunity for a high idea to begin to possess our mind, that the highest God and the innermost God are one. And that there's no separation. And so Ernest Holmes says on page 387 that in the science of mind, we never seek to avoid an issue, because any condition which is psychologically avoided becomes buried in the unconscious. And unfortunately, it is buried alive. Thus, the conflict goes on beneath the surface of consciousness, where it does more damage than it would if left objective. It does more damage hidden than seen, in other words. We must meet every situation as it comes with faith and trust, thereby avoiding regressions, escapes, and frustrations. We have to be present with our thoughts about money. We have to be willing to be present with our thoughts about money until we move away from being obsessed with it, until the idea, a higher idea takes over. So there must come a time for each and every one of us, a turning point as such, where we come face to face with our thoughts, our old thoughts, and our fears about money, and call it what it is, a dis-ease. We're not easy about it. And so we turn away from the ideas of what money has meant. It's the invitation to turn away from the ideas about what money has meant and turn to what it can mean. We turn away from those ideas, those old ideas and those old fears, into a full realization that the highest God and the innermost God are one. That the high ideas of God possess my mind, not sometime, but all the time. And so this idea then of the highest God and the innermost God being one, Joel Goldsmith says that this is greater, far greater than anything in this world. Our ability and our willingness to be present with it, with this idea, and to let it take over us, take us into places that we've never been, that it is greater, far greater than anything in this world. I don't know about you, but that gets me excited. Far greater than anything that I can imagine, far greater than anything that you can imagine, a turning point where, in spite of and in light of what is happening in our life right now, we begin to imagine that all of our needs are met. In spite of and in light of, right now, right here, we begin to imagine all our needs are being met until the realization is demonstrated, until the money's in my hand, until the money is in your hand, or whatever it is that you are desiring, until it's demonstrated.